supporting materials. We use supporting materials to further explain a point, but there are different types and certain guidelines to follow when using them. Why would you use supporting materials? You want to build interest in your audience, and sometimes you can stare intently to grab their attention, but I wouldn't suggest it. Different ways you could use would be select materials that appeal to your listeners' interests, and you want to use things that would enhance the audience's understanding. So if you have a bunch of college kids, talk about how broke they are and give them ways to make it better. That's if you can find any. For me, making me laugh will grab my attention, but for others, you kind of have to get in their touchy feeling to get their attention. Just depends on your audience. You can also enhance your audience's understanding by using definitions on weird words that we should probably know, but we don't. And of course, you want to make a lasting impression on your audience. You can make factual statements that would catch your audience's attention. And no, I don't mean go into statistics and talk about how the Pythagorean theorem solves all your problems. Tell them something that they don't know, like that strawberries are the only fruit with seeds on the outside and all polar bears are left-handed. There are different types of supporting materials, such as examples. There's two different types of examples. There's brief and extended. Brief is short and to the point, and extended is a little more diverse. There are definitions. There's dictionary definition and expert definition. And I don't know how to say that word, I'm not going to lie. Etymological, which is telling you where the term comes from, and functional, which is based on its function. And there are testimonies. There's two types of testimonies. There's expert testimonies and lay testimonies. Lay is made by a person with no expertise. And don't forget about the statistics I mentioned earlier that you should definitely not go too far into with a bunch of sleepy college kids. And when you do use them, make sure you have some sort of visual aid that is entertaining so you don't put them all to sleep. There are also narratives, which is basically a story. And last but not least, there are analogies. Two types, literal and figurative. Literal is two entities that are in the same category that are being compared, and figurative is two entities not in the same category, but the characteristics of one can help the audience understand. Those types of analogies help the listener retain new knowledge. And there's guidelines for using supporting materials. You always want to use the most credible proof. Don't go to Wikipedia and use them. And you want to use a variety of supporting materials. You also want to appeal to different learning styles, so do some talking. If you want to, you can do some hands-on, or just do regular listening activities. And don't use long lists. Keep your bullet points short and to the point. And then consider who your audience is and make sure you respect the available time. If you follow all that, your speech will be great. And this is my Mimi, I guess, for this speech. And it says classwork 2 + 2 = 4 in the test. John had 3 apples and lost 1. Calculate the mass of the sun. And it kind of tells you how supporting details are really important because you're never going to be able to figure that out unless you're a genius. So yeah, that's it.